The seven spiritual bodies. So real quick, my last live stream just cut off because like my phone had like overheated and stuff like that. So I was just mentioning the whole little Agni Yoga stuff. If you look up Agni Yoga on Amazon, you could find 14 free books on it. It's a pretty dope yoga. It's the yoga of the soul, the yoga of the soul becoming the freaking source and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But let's get to this into the seven spiritual bodies. You know what I'm saying? Which eventually dissolve into like three bodies. So let's talk about it. All right, the first one, physical body. This thing right here, you know what I'm saying? We got the physical body. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's not really much. There's not much to say after that. You know what I'm saying? After that, above that, we got the etheric body. So the etheric body is the energy body. You know what I'm saying? It produces, it gives vitality to your physical body. You know what I'm saying? And the vitality comes from the astral body and the higher body. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna explain these like going bottom to up, but then like up to down. Because I feel like when you get it up, when you explain it from up to down, it kind of makes more sense. You know what I'm saying? But the etheric body also gets called the pranic body. It's the energy body. Pretty much energy comes from like the astral body and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then forms the etheric body. Then you get the human body. You know what I'm saying? Now the astral body, right? The astral body is like the image. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I should do top to bottom first. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's do top to bottom, bro. Let's do top to bottom. All right. So at the top you have the atmic body or the monad. You know what I'm saying? The monad is pretty much like source. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna explain the monad again when I go back up. But you got the monad, right? You got source, right? And then the monad makes the atmic body. You know what I'm saying? Now the atmic body is like the spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much a sustaining life force that comes from the monad. You know what I'm saying? Now that sustaining life force, right, goes into the Buddhic body. You know what I'm saying? The Buddhic body is just like how is like the feeling. You know what I'm saying? So you have the spirit, the energy, the creating life energy, and then you have how it also feels inside the Buddhic body. This is how it feels in the Buddhic body. And then from there you have the causal body. You know what I'm saying? The causal body is what causes the rest of the bodies. The causal body is pretty much composed of abstract concepts. You know what I'm saying? So all those like feelings in the Buddhic body that are kind of like peaceful and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? There are certain like concepts behind them. You know what I'm saying? That form the causal body, right? And then these concepts, right, condense into more concrete forms in the mental body. So it's like, let's say you have the word red. You know what I'm saying? The word red would be inside the mental body, right? But there's like an abstract idea, you know what I'm saying, behind red. You know what I'm saying? And that abstract idea feels a certain way in the Buddhic body. You know what I'm saying? And that feeling comes from the atmic body. You know what I'm saying? So, Shibumi, you know what I'm saying? The causal body is like abstract thoughts, ideas, memories, and stuff like that, and they get more condensed inside the mental body as actual like words and concrete thoughts. And then those words and concrete thoughts form an image. That's the astral body. It forms an image. So now you actually have the color red. You know what I'm saying? You can actually see red, the image. You know what I'm saying? But that image is not physical. In order for it to become physical, it needs to actually it needs to like condense into like energy. You know what I'm saying? That's the etheric body. When it condenses into energy, you know what I'm saying? And then that energy creates a form, a physical body that reflects the image. You know what I'm saying? So you have the image of red, this subtle behind image, you know what I'm saying? That condenses into all this energy. Then that energy forms a concrete solidified red. You know what I'm saying? The physical body is the red. Now let's go from top to up. You know what I'm saying? Physical body, you have red. You know what I'm saying? And then the etheric body is like the energy that makes up red. You know what I'm saying? And then inside the astral, you have the image. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said before, the image is not physical. You know what I'm saying? It becomes physical through the energy of the etheric body. You know what I'm saying? And then the concept of red, what red is, the thought behind red is inside the mental body. You know what I'm saying? And then it gets all abstract inside the causal body. You know what I'm saying? And it feels a certain way inside the Buddhic body. And the way that it feels comes from the Atmic body. You know what I'm saying? Which the atmic body, like the spirit of it, originates with inside the monad. Now, here's how the bodies become like. All right, so most people, right? I'm gonna say, actually, let me not say that. When I first learned about the spiritual bodies, right, I knew physical, etheric, astral. You know what I'm saying? That's all I really knew, and I didn't even fully get what the etheric stuff was. You know what I'm saying? Then eventually I got introduced into causal body. You know what I'm saying? Which causes the astral body and all the other ones, right? Now, when you aren't like a completely integrated being, you have the whole seven body stuff. You know what I'm saying? But here's what starts to happen. So you could leave your body, right? With the astral body. You know what I'm saying? That's the vehicle that you actually like you have you still, even though the image is not physical, right, you still have an image that you could project inside of and experience other planes with. You know what I'm saying? You could either experience the planes of the earth, you could experience space, you can experience different dimensions, or you can experience your own memories and your own self inside the causal body. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, right, like I said, inside the mental body, right, this is where you have concrete thoughts at. Now, from a higher point, the mental body and the causal body get merged as one body. You know what I'm saying? So now those abstract ideas form solidified ideas as one body. And then those create an image, that being the astral body. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, though, right? When you get to the Buddhic body, right? Oh, and by the also, your soul, your identity, your focal point of awareness that starts to originate your identity is inside the causal body. You know what I'm saying? So your whole I is inside the causal body. And then eventually that I condenses into more concrete ideas that form an image, that being the astral body. You know what I'm saying? Then that image condenses into energy that eventually makes a physical body. You know what I'm saying? So bang. To start dissolving, right? Instead of saying I am this person, you gotta just get to the I. And then you get to the point where there really is there is no I. It gets really abstract. It's just a beingness. You know what I'm saying? And then this beingness is kind of like the Buddhic body. Now, when you actually become full beingness, the Buddhic body becomes like the new astral body. You know what I'm saying? And the causal body actually becomes the physical body. And then the atmic body becomes the causal body. So let me explain that again for you real quick. You know what I'm saying? When you're still I am this, you haven't fully unified yourself. You're still multiple different things because you may, like, you know what I'm, if your name is Susan, right? Okay, I am Susan, but you're not just Susan. You know what I'm saying? You have past life stuff, you have genetic stuff, you're not just Susan. You know what I'm saying? So when you say I am Susan, right? I am Susan, the abstract stuff of, because no, it's just abstract at first, right? Then it becomes more concrete. I am Susan. If it's just purely causal, it's a bit more abstract, but as it goes into the mental body, it becomes I am Susan. But like I said, the mental body and causal body get merged at a certain point. So you have this abstract concept that becomes I am Susan. Now, once you say I am Susan, you form an image for Susan, the astral body. And then, of course, that condenses into the energy that eventually makes the physical body. You know what I'm saying? However, like I said, when you stop saying I am Susan, right? What happens is there's no more image for Susan. You know what I'm saying? Because if you say that, if at first you're Susan, but then you say I am Mr. Trash Can Guy, you can become Mr. Trash Can Guy. Like, you can become different things in the astral plane. You know what I'm saying? That's because the whole abstract idea into the solidified idea is changing. You know what I'm saying? So while you're Susan, you look like Susan. But if you become Bob, you start looking like Bob. You know what I'm saying? But if you dissolve all the I, right? What happens is you become Susan, Bob, you become all of them inside of one. And all of your things feel a certain kind of way inside the Buddhic body. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like from the Buddhic body, right? You can have several different splits and ideas because if there's like 1,000 good feelings inside of the Buddhic body, you can make a personality for every single good feeling inside the Buddhic body. Instead, though, when you become a unified being, you unify all the 1,000 good feelings into one feeling. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how the Buddhic body becomes the astral body. You know what I'm saying? Because there's one solidified image now. You know what I'm saying? It's just one image. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the Buddhic body becomes the astral body. You know what I'm saying? Now, the causal body, right, will become the physical body. The reason being is because your causal body, right, is where your identity begins at. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, if you're Chess Susan, you're not the conglomerate of all your lives and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? However, when you do become that, right, you have an identity that is a conglomerate of several beings. You know what I'm saying? But because you condense them all, that causal body is not just different abstract thoughts. It's just one main identity that's not identified with the human personality. You know what I'm saying? It's more of all the past lives, also including the freaking monad, aka the source of whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So bang, right? Hope that made sense. The causal body eventually becomes the new physical body because, like I said, instead of having these abstract ideas, it's just one being now that is composed of several different things. But because your several different things became one thing, you become a unified being inside the causal body. Your causal body becomes a physical body. You know what I'm saying? And then your Buddhic body, right? All that feeling stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? That becomes abstract ideas. All that feeling stuff becomes the astral body. And then the atmic body, right, becomes the causal body because it starts to cause the Buddhic and the other causal body that became the physical body. You know what I'm saying? So the atmic body, right? That's where the spirit lies at. You know what I'm saying? That's where like your spirit comes from. You know what I'm saying? That's where the sustaining force of your life comes from. You know what I'm saying? And when you actually identify with that, right? When you identify with that one thing, right? You don't have this split into all those different feelings and personalities. You just have that one thing. You know what I'm saying? Which is why that one thing, the atmic body, becomes the causal body, which causes the Buddhic body, the new astral body, which is a unified kind of feeling thing. You know what I'm saying? Which eventually forms an image inside the causal. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the monad, right? The monad kind of becomes like the new soul, except your soul at first is an individualized point of awareness, right? When you become the monad, you be which means that you can literally be everybody. Like instead of just being this one point observing only your lives and that type of stuff, you become the thing that could observe everybody's life. You see somebody, and you're like, oh, I know who that person is. I know what their purpose is. You know what I'm saying? The reason why people can just get information about certain people just like that is because they're becoming more identified with the monad. And the monad is the awareness that is inside of everybody. Like, yes, you are a focal point of awareness. You know what I'm saying? You are a drop inside the ocean. But when you become the ocean, you understand every single drop. You know what I'm saying? So what's happening is that inside the original causal body, right? You just got that drop, and that drop splits into other smaller drops. You know what I'm saying? And those smaller drops come to you usually when you're not unified as certain thoughts and ideas and emotions. You know what I'm saying? Some higher ones, some lower ones. You know what I'm saying? When you're not a unified being, you know what I'm saying? And you're just like a regular being. You got the physical body with the etheric and the astral and the causal. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of abstract thoughts that form concrete thoughts in the mental body that eventually come to you as certain thoughts, desires, impulses, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of those things just be coming from like your past lives. You know what I'm saying? Certain spirit guides that live inside the causal body. You know what I'm saying? The causal body is formed of a whole bunch of abstract, non-physical stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I want to mention this also in my past life video. One of the best ways to remember past lives is off the emotion, because even if you don't talk about past lives, right? We remember things in a couple of ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say somebody tells you something, that's one way of remembering it. You know what I'm saying? But that's not like the best. You know what I'm saying? The best way is we can actually feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you experience trauma, right? And you feel all negative, you know what I'm saying? You tend to remember that because the emotion was so freaking like it was so like big, you know what I'm saying? So you have points in your past life where emotions were very like heavy, you know what I'm saying? And you could tap into those emotions, you know what I'm saying? Now normally those emotions probably actually come through and you don't even know it's from a past life. But you start discerning that when you detach from all emotions, you know what I'm saying? So normally as a normal human being, right, you have all these abstract thoughts, right, inside the causal body, you know what I'm saying? That's eventually coming to you as these more concrete thoughts, emotions, and desires that's going to get astral ethic to the physical body, you know what I'm saying? You getting all these thoughts, emotions, desires, you know what I'm saying? That's coming from all these other emotions that are actually inside the causal body in the because the Buddhic it's the emotions are really inside the Buddhic body, but then those condense into abstract concepts inside the causal that form concrete concepts in the mental that form concrete thoughts that come to you through the astral and the etheric into the physical. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, though, when it comes to remembering your past lives, right? When you be emotions and you can pinpoint where the freak they come from, you know what I'm saying? So something that helps with that is Egyptian mythology, like I said in my past life video, because like when you could like when you because you can get to a point where you read words and you understand the meaning behind the word. And I was trying to talk about this to my live stream, just cut this freak off. I'm reading a book called Agni Yoga about Agni Yoga, right? Now there's certain words I don't understand, but what I could do is I could look it up, right? You know what I'm saying? And then I could see the concept of it, and I just feel it. I'm like, oh, it's that right there. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And that comes because when you practice Egyptian mythology or you use the Hindu stuff, whatever, when you just understand symbolism in general, if you could look at symbols and feel the meaning behind them, you start understanding how to get to the abstract idea. You know what I'm saying? You get to the you can actually feel the causal because there's a causal behind. See, look, like let me how the physical body is this picture. You can see the picture. That's physical. You know what I'm saying? Now there's energy that holds this together. You know what I'm saying? And then that energy, right, comes from a certain image that looks exactly like this. It's just light. You know what I'm saying? The image is some light thing that's condensing as energy through the etheric body. You know what I'm saying? So form the physical body of this paper thing. You know what I'm saying? Everything had, and then behind that image, right? You have the mental body. You have a certain idea. Ra. You know what I'm saying? But then you have the more abstract of Ra, which gets less wordy and more feeling based. You know what I'm saying? The full feeling is inside of the Buddhic body, and then that feeling comes from the Atmic body. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that works, you know? And pretty much when it comes to this, right? Like I said, if you learn how to meditate on this properly, you can understand the abstract stuff behind it. You know what I'm saying? You go beyond words and you just get the freaking concept. And once you get the concept, you can actually feel the concept. You see, you can understand the concept in the causal body, but when you start being able to feel the concept, that's Buddhic body concept. You know what I'm saying? And that feeling stuff is coming from the Atmic body. It's like the source of its being. And then the Atmic stuff comes from the monad, the one true awareness. You know what I'm saying? But but here's the thing though. There's like multiple monads because when you read when reading the Agni Yoga book, right? Here's what it's like. You know what I'm saying? There. Okay. Here's how I put this. All right. Boom. So when I say there's multiple monads, here's what I really mean. Inside our solar system, right? Our sun has a certain portion of awareness, right? And then oh my God, I got a text. But we can have certain portions of that sun's awareness. You know what I'm saying? But the monad would be like the sun, understanding all the sun's awareness. You know what I'm saying? And then you go beyond the sun, where the freak this you get beyond. You go to where the concept of the sun even came from. So eventually, you just get all the way to like the original just one being that eventually was like, yo, it became aware, made the universe, different points of space become aware, form different. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say there's like multiple monads in a sense. But what they tend to say is like monad then logos because like the sun gets called the logos. You have the solar logos. You know what I'm saying? What is it? They say the sun, black, and then this like then this a word. You know what I'm saying? The sun is like the accumulated awareness of like everybody. You know what I'm saying? The black stuff is like the black hole in the middle of the Milky Way galaxy. You know what I'm saying? That kind of, you could say it kind of influenced the sun to become a thing. But beyond that black hole is a more like abstract thing that's not even physical. That doesn't even it got no black. It's just this non-physical thing that decided to make the black hole, the galaxy, the sun. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say there's like multiple monads. But to keep it simple, right? Shaboom, shabang, shabami. You have the physical body, which is this. The paper, you said physical body, you know what I'm saying? The etheric body is the energy that actually holds this together, you know what I'm saying? But that energy comes from a certain image. There's an astral image of this that condenses into energy and then physical body. And then beyond that image, you have a certain concrete idea, Ra. That's a concrete idea. But then it gets more abstract in the causal body because what happens is it's an abstract idea that eventually became Ra, but it's abstract at first. And that abstract idea feels a certain way, which is inside the Buddhic body, and that feeling comes from the atmic body. It comes, the energy originates inside the atmic body. The birth of that feeling that becomes a concept, that becomes an abstract concept, that concrete concept, that starts in the atmic body. That's like where the spirit is at. You know what I'm saying? So, bang. Now, with that being said, the monad, right, is, now the monad is just it's just the pure awareness, you know what I'm saying? Not your pure awareness inside the causal body, but just pure awareness, you know what I'm saying? That eventually decides to be like, yo, I'm gonna make this atmic body. You know what I'm saying? It's just that observer, you know what I'm saying? Then beyond that, you could say you got you have pretty much, when you go beyond that monad, you pretty much just understand the whole creation of the universe, pretty much. You understand why it's here, why the sun manifests, why certain planets. You just understand everything. So like, that's the seven spiritual bodies and understanding them. And it's like, yeah, if you meditate on those, you can kind of feel them inside yourself and like unify yourself. Oh yeah, like I said before, also in the highest plane, right? The causal body. My fault. My fault, bro. I had to respond to that text. But so long story short, right? The causal body, in the higher sense, right? The causal body unifies with the mental body. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes the new physical body for you. It's not actually physical, but it becomes new. It becomes the new physical body because what happens is the image of the astral body that eventually turns into energy, the physical body. Because, like I said, this has an astral image that looks exactly like this. You know what I'm saying? But that comes from a concept. When you become just a concept, you can become just a concept. Because what your personality really is just a concept. You know what I'm saying? When you become all concepts at once, that's happening inside the causal body, and you move through reality as a concept that can become an image if you want to, you know what I'm saying, and then have a physical form. But you move as a concept, you know what I'm saying? The causal body becomes a new physical body. And then the Buddhic body, right? That whole feeling stuff, right? Becomes a new like astral body. It's like astral etheric because like inside because inside the Buddhic, right? That whole feeling stuff, right? Creates a concept. So that's kind of like how the energy makes a physical body. You know what I'm saying? So in the higher sense, when you unify stuff, the Buddhic body becomes a new astral and etheric body. You know what I'm saying? And then like the atmic body becomes the causal body due to the fact that it causes that feeling stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain energy, spirit, there's a certain intelligence, there's a certain just creative energy, right? That makes this whole feeling thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Buddhic atmic, that's like astral body, you know what I'm saying? And then pure atmic is causal body, you know what I'm saying? Like atmic monad is causal body, you know what I'm saying? And so you have the causal body, physical body, right? And then causal to Buddhic body, that's causal to Buddhic is like the etheric, you know what I'm saying? Because it's that feeling condensing, you know what I'm saying? Buddhic to Atmic is like the new astral body because what's happening is that inside the Atmic you have this little abstract thing that forms this feeling thing that can be seen as an image, you know what I'm saying? And then higher than that you have the monad, you know what I'm saying? The astral body would be the cosmic body. The monad would be like the new soul, except it's not just your own individualized point of awareness. It's not just your own individualized point of awareness. You know what I'm saying? It's the awareness of literally everything. Hope that John made sense, bro. It might be hard to understand if you meditate on it. You can start understanding it, and it's like, yeah, bro, tap in for sure.